west 30-yard line. Got about 15 minutes with these guys, folks.
McLaughlin, all right, you win, sir.
Why Ohio State?
I thought Ohio State's one of the greatest programs in college football, and coming from a place like Alabama, I thought I wanted to go to another similar place that is always competing to win championships and has great coaching and great development.
Any thought to the opportunity for Michigan again being a factor in there?
Not really. That wasn't one of the reasons I came here, but playing them in the Rose Bowl, that clock on the wall, 302 days, kind of means something to me after playing in the game.
Hey, Seth, could you scoot up the mic for me just a little bit?
It's just going to be fun to play them again.
What was the reaction when Nick Saban told you guys you were retired?
I wasn't there for that. I'd entered the portal before that, so I wasn't there. But it was pretty surprising. We knew it was going to come in the next few years probably, but I heard up until the moment he retired, he was interviewing people, so it's just pretty crazy. No, sir. I think personally, I've always thrived off of change. I played for 3 different offensive coordinators. I played for 3 offensive line coaches, 2 strength staffs, and I thought at this point in my career, I think Alabama had done a great job of developing from the 265-pound kid into the 300-pound center that I was. But I thought for my 5th year, I could do something different and go to a program, learn from new people, being a new strength staff, and really progress my development further. Yeah, it was cool. I was with Coach O'Brien for 2 years at Alabama, and we had a great time together. We're very familiar with each other, and I loved having him as a coach, so I'm excited for that opportunity again. He's a really good leader of men. He's very knowledgeable in the game. He's coached some of the best players to ever play the game, and when you walk into a place like this, he's going to be having great players to coach, and I think we're going to have a lot of success with him. I've really liked him. He's a very impressive coach. So kind of on my recruiting visits, he sat me down and was very real about how I was as a player. He's like, okay, he showed me a cut up. Here's the good, what I like. Here's what we need to fix, and here's our plan to get better. And kind of showed me the drills that we were going to do to improve the weaknesses of my game and kind of how I could fit in the system going forward. So that was really impressive. Yeah, of course. The first major part of a football play is getting the ball to the quarterback, and it doesn't matter if you can block anybody if you can't get the ball to the quarterback and start the play. So we definitely have a plan on that moving forward.
Just watching you, clearly, what do you think may have been issues?
There's a lot that goes into it. Kind of just once you have a bad one, you kind of start thinking about, okay, I got to get this right. And I don't think I was really struggling from a mental standpoint. It was just a matter of it would just happen. I can't really explain what was going on and kind of what went into it, but that's really in the past, and I'm looking at moving forward from there. Just getting back into a rhythm. I've been doing it since I was 7 years old. I've been snapping football since I was 7, and I've never had issues with it. And previously in my career in football and college, I didn't really have an issue. So just getting back, snapping at quarterback's hands, and just getting back into it. It's like shooting a free throw. He told me that I play hard. I like to finish blocks. I'm pretty quick on my feet. I'm athletic. So that's kind of what I bring.
How much at all did you guys talk about just having your experience, your perspective, kind of in the middle of an offensive line? So has guys that have played this kind of in the room, like, are you trying to take on any kind of leadership positions in the offensive field? Like a guy you can open up to?
I think the first thing about coming into a place like this is there's so many great players. Everybody was highly recruited. Everybody is good at football. So it's kind of about earning the respect of people. I am coming in as a fifth year, but in certain aspects, like learning the program, learning how we work here, I kind of feel like a freshman. So I kind of have to get on task and figure out how things work here. And then once I earn the respect of my teammates, then I can continue on in a leadership role. But
The right guard spot next to you is kind of an open competition. And the left guard, Donovan Jackson coming back. Have you had conversations with Donovan? What are your thoughts? And I guess if you guys talked about how you might
I'm not really sure about that because, I came here just as an offensive lineman. I didn't really come for a specific position. There's a lot of talent in the room, and I'm just going to try to fit in the best where I can.
So you could see, I guess, a path for you to come in a guard spot.
I'm not sure. That's up for the coaches to decide, but I am here just to help the success of this program and whatever the coaches see fit.
Have you had a chance to talk to Bill Howard yet at all? Have you guys had a conversation about it?
I really like Will. Will's a great guy, and he's had a ton of experience, and it'll be really exciting playing with him.
What's better, being recruited as a high schooler or being recruited in football?
Neither. I hated the recruiting process. Kind of in both sense. The transfer portal period is so short. I was home from the Rose Bowl on Wednesday, I think, and I was up here Thursday, and then I came up here like on Saturday. So as an enrollee, so that was really quick. But yeah, I've never really been a fan of all the hype and the hoorah and of the recruiting process.
Hey Seth, I think a lot of people in this day now of the portal, how do you go from being a true Alabama player to coming to Ohio State and going, I'm a Buckeye now? And not just you, but a lot of other players who are transferring in the portal.
I think I had the advantage of being there for 4 years. I love Alabama. I have 2 degrees from Alabama. That's always going to be my alma mater. And I'm so appreciative for everything that I've done there and everything that's been given to me there. But just as we're playing the sport to be professionals. And I just thought for my benefit that change would be good. But I am very thankful for everything I received from Alabama, their fans. I love them. But it's just going to be a fun new adventure.
Are you looking forward to playing in the shoe?
Yeah. I think one of the craziest things is playing in all those SEC stadiums and growing up in the SEC. I was never really a huge Big Ten football watcher, so kind of getting to experience this type of culture and see the love for the game up here, it's been fun.
How's the weather been for you?
It's been colder. I did grow up in the South, so some of the really cold weather I've never been used to, but I get hot easily, so I don't love the heat.
How do you do that after a game like the Rose Bowl, and what was that just what's going to forward and go from then and then business here and just how do you work through that?
When you go through something like that, you kind of have to sit down and look at yourself and be like, okay, who am I as a person? What am I? And I kind of just sat down and thought about, where can I go from here? I can't control what happened in the past. I can't control what happened in that game. I can't control, the public reaction to that. But I'm here now. I'm in a great place to continue my development and play for an incredible program, play for incredible coaches. So really, I'm very positive. I have no negative feelings about what happened. It is what it is type of thing. So it's exciting to move forward. I forget how many games I've started. I've started over 20 at center, but I'm open to doing whatever it takes to, help this program win football games.
Do you have any background really either high school or?
I played tackle in high school, but that's kind of like every single offensive lineman in college plays tackle for their high school program. But I've practiced guard a little bit throughout my career at Alabama, but really it's just an interior offensive line's kind of all the same to me. So.
Seth, did you after that Michigan game, did you keep your social media off? I mean, did you pay attention to what was going on out there?
No, not really. 'Cause it doesn't really affect you.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing about social media. I've heard that if somebody pats your back, you can't listen to them. If somebody, is knocking you down, you can't listen to them. Because at the end of the day, nobody out there really knows exactly what goes into it unless they've been in the position.
Hey, I was just over talking with Caleb. He just walked up to you. May have already been asked this, but what do you think you guys playing at Alabama instilled in you that's maybe a little different from the average guy? What do y'all bring to this program in that regard?
I think playing 4 years with Coach Saban is tremendous for your personal development. Having him talk to you each and every single day about what it takes to be a man, what it takes to be successful. I think it's a lot of people in the country, regardless of profession, would pay a lot of money to have that experience with Coach Saban, his leadership.
You mentioned, you're born and bred in the SEC. What have you learned about Big Ten football, the tradition, the rivalries, the whole experience about this conference?
It's tough, hard-nosed football from what I've gathered so far. And it's been very fun to just talk to the guys and hear their experiences and kind of talk to them about my experiences, and just kind of look to see it, how it's different, how it's the goods and the bad. So I don't believe so, no sir.
Not necessarily just the quality of football, but like there's this perception out there that the SEC is the only place that can find good football. Was it eye-opening to realize you guys are like?
I mean, good football teams are good football teams. They're built on toughness. They have the size. They have the talent. So kind of when you get to those games, you don't really tell because all good football teams kind of resemble each other in some sorts of ways.
You mentioned kind of not liking the recruiting path for high school when you're in the portal. What are the pitches like? How do they differ from when you're in high school to when you're in the portal? What do coaches sell you on compared to when you're going to high school?
I think you have the experience of what you've done, and kind of what works and what coaching styles you're more adept to. So when you talk to the coaches, it's really about how can you make me better, not necessarily how can you develop me into the player that I need to be from where I was. I was like 6'3", 260 pounds coming out of high school. So that was really more about what can the weight staff do, what can the nutrition staff do to put the weight on me. But now it's kind of just about developing as a football player.
Seth, your first visit here coincides a little bit with Will Howard's visiting. Can you just let people know the conversation you and Will had at the start to both make this decision pretty much at the same time, and what was it talking with that?
I think he's a very impressive guy. He's very intelligent. He's smart. He's played in a lot of games. He's a Big 12 champion. He's won championship games. So kind of going and playing with a quarterback that knows how to win games was a super big thing to me because that's my main goal is to win football games in my 5th year. So.
Yeah, so what have you noticed is the focus around here in the first several weeks you've been here from the player standpoint of all these guys coming back for another shot? What's just stood out to you about the atmosphere, I guess, about finishing the job, so to speak?
I think it's impressive. I think it's a testament to the culture here. In my 2 short weeks, I can tell how much guys love this program and care about this program and care about their legacy. And you had so many guys that could have been drafted this year that came back. And I don't want to speak for them, but it sounds like it's because they think they have unfinished business and they want to win all the games and they want to leave a legacy here. It didn't factor into my decision at all. Just wanted to come because really, whatever happens now, it doesn't matter if you don't make it to the NFL. And I wanted to go to a place that could put me there.
What was your reaction to Caleb?
I was excited. Been watching Caleb for a year now at Alabama, and he was very, very impressive. He walked in and he acted like a 3rd-year starter. He was a veteran, and it's very rare from a freshman. So he's one of the most impressive freshmen I've ever seen come through Alabama.
What did you get to gain from seeing in that short time?
I didn't really get to watch a lot of him playing football. He was over on the other field, kind of just with the quarterbacks. But from what I've heard from the other quarterbacks at Alabama that I'm really good friends with, is that he's a great guy. He's very talented. So we're excited to have him here. Yeah, I came to college before NIL was a thing, so it was literally not a topic. But it's a part of the world we live in today, and it's something to think about for some people if that's what they're interested in. But I'm really just excited to be here in Columbus and have the opportunities that football presents.
So you've obviously played for Bill O'Brien before. What's he like, and what do you think he brings here?
I think he brings a ton of experience. He's a great coach. He's had a proven track record of being a good coach. In our time at Alabama, he put up a lot of points. So it'll be fun to watch what he does with this offense.
What does he like to play for, though? Is he commanding? How would you describe what he's like in that role?
I think the most important thing as a player for Coach O'Brien is his pro background. He expects you to handle yourself like a pro. He expects you to prepare like a pro, and anything short of that, he's not a big fan of, which is understandable.
And could you notice insights he gave you about the game? I mean, just in the little bit maybe you're around him, but that he's been in the NFL. I mean, how's that show up? I mean, from not necessarily what he expects from you, but from a game planning aspect, etc.
He knows who the guys are, and he's going to get the ball in their hands, whatever it takes. So.
As a third point center, it says 8'7".
Mm-hmm.
Why center?
They had a kid that couldn't snap the football, and it was my first time walking out there. They're like, hey, might as well try this guy at center. And the coaches must have been incredible if they could tell that I was going to develop into a college center. So I still keep in touch with my 9-year-old football coach, and he kind of takes credit for putting me in that position and his foresight. So that's kind of funny.
Was it even tackle football at that point?
Yeah, it was.
What kind of made you fall in love with the game?
Kind of just being the guy up in front, making the calls. I like doing that. I like the intellectual part of the game. I'm a student of the game, so it's a lot of fun learning and trying to, kind of get everybody on the same page. That's what I like about it.
How's that part evolved? Even in college, freshman year, sure it's much harder to make those calls. You're going pretty fast compared to where you're at now. How do you see yourself grow?
Now it's kind of just based on instinct. I don't necessarily know the whole picture, but if I look in this sandbox over here, I kind of know what's everywhere else. So once you start learning the game, it kind of becomes more instinctual.
Hey, I'm not trying to stick a thorn in you right now, but you're watching the game the other night. Patrick Mahomes, there's some low snaps in that game, and he was able to handle them. You understand what I'm saying? The centers sometimes go through a little bit of a rut in the shotgun snap and the pistol snapping deal that you just kind of have to get out of.
Not really. Yeah, not really. I mean, kind of it's just part of playing the position.
Yeah.
If you're a point guard in basketball and you're not hitting your free throws, you're not doing what the team needs you to do to win. Creed Humphrey is one of the best centers in the game, and I can't talk about what was going on, but I mean, it didn't really impact the game.
But you got a lot going on in front of you sometimes. You know what I mean? Before a snap and stuff. How do you concentrate on that snap before anything else?
The snap's just part of your instinct. It's just getting the ball back there. You kind of don't really think about it. You kind of just throw the ball back there, and without how many reps that you bank, you've got thousands of reps. Usually it's just going to go back there straight.
Seth, at Alabama, right, you're interacting with Nick Saban on maybe a daily basis for a few years, and then you take your official visit here. What about Justin Frye and Ryan Day stuck out that made you say, like, I need to be here to help them try to win a national championship?
Just their plan and their excitement for winning. Coach Day has been incredible to talk to. I wasn't recruited by Ohio State out of high school that much, so getting up here and seeing everything for the first time was a very telling experience. And Coach Frye sat me down and had a good plan for me, and that was exciting to hear as a football player.
I know you and Harry Miller went to the same high school. How well do you know him, and did you talk to him at all before he came here?
I talked to him a little bit. I just asked him about what he knew about Coach Day and Coach Frye, and he had nothing but positive things to say.
Did you target Ohio State after you left Alabama? I mean, were you very interested in Ohio State more than maybe anyone else?
Yeah, it was, and that was kind of what attributed to my it being my first visit.
Yeah.
They were very proactive about, as soon as I entered the portal, they were one of the first people to call me, and they were very proactive to getting me here and getting me here first, and then just knew the process of how important that was due to our short time constraint.
I know Edric Houston went to your high school as well. Do you know him, and just what do you expect from him
He was a 8th grader, I believe, my senior year.
Was he showing something though?
Yeah, he was. I mean, he looked the same size as he was now. Felt like as a senior in high school, because he's always been a huge guy. So I'm excited to see how he develops and how he brings the culture of Buford here.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Hey, by the way, what was the name of your 9-year-old team? What team are you on?